Greetings, my lords and my ladies. As the patch 2.8.6 has landed, it is time to make an overview of all the changes that has been made to the game. First up are the new additions to the game. We start off with Pinnacle Trial Rankings. The mode has been adjusted as following. There are 5 trials now instead of 10, with the difficulty being tuned up for the most fights. On day 6, a new ranking system is unlocked that allows you to fight top 10 players who has achieved top places on clearing the trials. You fight only one match of the specified player and are granted ranking points if you win and don't lose anything otherwise. At the end of the event, top 10 players in the ranking will receive specified prizes. This time those are castle skin fragments. Overall, this change doesn't affect most players, as the majority won't even be able to scratch the top 10. Besides that, even if you are the winner of the rankings, the rewards are abysmal. Next up are 2 new skills added to the game, and the first being Knife Through Battle, a legendary skill that will allow your chosen immortal to deal up to 200% physical damage to all enemies with a 60% chance to reduce their energy by up to 300 points after landing 6 normal attacks. This ability looks quite promising, especially for a mixed match with Alexander and Barker. However, taking into consideration that this is a legendary ability, it's highly unlikely that top tier players will be using it on Alexander. Ares is a better candidate to see that ability used on. Second skill is called Iron Curtain. Each normal attack will have up to 60% to reduce the shield's effect on affected target by 30%, as well as reducing damage received of your immortal by up to 35%, as long as his HP is higher than 70%. This ability looks decent, and probably will see its usage against highly popular double tank matches with Charles, and it's a better candidate to be used on Alexander as well. I will make a proper testing of those abilities and will share the results with you in the later videos. Next, we have a number of optimization adjustments to the game, starting with new skills being added to the Wisdom Well Wish Shop. Fire of Rage, Victorious Pursuit, Snipe, Storm Eye, Curse of Pain, Blade Vortex, Toxin Barrier, Demonic Contract and Void Realm starting from Season 1, and Siren's Gaze, Weakness Protection, Berserker and Wind Rage for Conquest seasons. Basically, most of the non-legendary skills are purchasable now at the Wish Shop, and it will make the catch-up for new players a little bit easier. So I would call this change minor win. Following adjustment was supposed to balance out the PvP. However, it will only make it more unbalanced, to be honest. The amount of gems required to restore prosperity will increase with each number of daily attempts that gonna be reset at 00 UTC daily. After recovering prosperity, you will receive a special effect that will disappear after server reset. Each consecutive prosperity recovery will increase the cost by approximately 50% of base cost recovery value. This change was supposed to remove or at least alleviate the constant prosperity recovery matter. However, considering the amount of gems the whales have, it will only affect mid and low spenders. It's definitely not something that players expected when they asked to address the prosperity recovery issue. So we will call this change a loss. The migration power cap set by the king will be increased depending on the amount of completed contention of relics battles. Honestly, it's one of the worst changes so far. All the servers' minimal limit cap skyrocketed to 4 million power, which means that almost any decently powered rogue player can jump over to any old server and become a nuisance there. With the lack of ways to punish such players, this migration limit raise might become a serious issue in the future. Developers should either enable a different migration system overall, or introduce ways to punish players that disobey server rules set by the majority. This change is another loss as well. Finally, they have added item quantity display to the GP shop, so new players will not be confused anymore how many times or shards they're purchasing. It is a small change but very appreciated, as I was confused myself as a new player when I was looking at one random shard being sold for 60 merit coins. The list of updates is rounded up with balance adjustments that affected only Holy Immortals this time. Manco Capac's ability will grant an increased amount of dodge rating now, up to 25% at max level. And the damage done to the enemies will be increased by up to 200% at max level. Besides those buffs, Manco will be immune to the Confuse effect. It is a pretty significant boost of Manco, especially his damage buff and additional Confusement bonus, but as expected, this change didn't do much to increase his popularity or usability. Kubilai Khan received a significant buff as well. Besides minor damage boost for each Wolf Strike physical damage, they will also increase the physical damage received by the affected target by up to 30%, stacking 3 times maximum as opposed to the current 90 flat modifier. Same as Manco, this change didn't make Kubilai more desirable in PvP. He is a better immortal for Titantula and other bosses, but there are way cheaper versions like Harold that can be used for the same purposes. Finally, Nebuchadnezzar II received energy speed regeneration buff up to 83 points per second. That is minor adjustments, and I guess no one will even notice it as no one uses him. That is it for patch 2.8.6 overview. As we can see, developers listen to players' feedback and requests, but make their own decisions how to address them. Pinnacle trial rankings are just minor version of Arena where majority of players have no chance to win. Developers should definitely contribute more time to analyzing players' feedback and address current issues rather than making insignificant adjustments to non-usable immortals, or making adjustments that aggravate those issues even further. Thank you for watching and see you again in the Infinity Kingdom. Bye bye.